Whee! A bass guitar is tuned one octave lower than a regular guitar. To get that, we need thicker strings and longer necks. But since we can't physically thicken our strings or elongate our guitar necks, there is only one option. Get a completely new instrument specifically for that purpose. Or is there another way? With modern technology, we can now pitch shift any audio as much as we want. So technically, we can just record our guitar and pitch shift it down an octave. The real question is it gonna be as good as a real bass? Since I am primarily a guitarist, I have guitars, and most of my work gets done with guitars. Since I started self-recording in 2013, I would just record my guitar and use some kind of pitch shifter on my DAW to turn it into a bass. Getting a real bass was never a priority, as it only ever amounted to a tiny portion of my work. But as of late, I had been a little unsatisfied with my work on the bass with the pitch shifted guitar. I also tried using VSTs with my MIDI keyboard, but again with unsatisfactory results. And to be completely honest, I was really drooling about having an actual bass in my arsenal to get those thick strings under my fingers and ooh. So I got the brown one. A few days before I got the bass, I had done a song with my usual pitch shifted guitar acting as my bass. I showed the song to a friend, and to my surprise, he said that he loved the bass tone. Then when I told him how I did it, he was surprised too. Let's head to the DAW and I'll show you how. So, I'm using my trusty old PV guitar on this. I'm on my bridge pickup, which is a single coil pickup, and I've got both my volume and tone knobs on max. It is going straight into my Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 interface and into Ableton. Firstly, I'm using this equalizer from Focusrite itself called Red 2 EQ, and this is nothing but a high pass which is cutting out everything below 34 Hz, because when it's gonna get octaved down, 34 Hz is gonna be 17 Hz, and that is something that humans cannot hear. We're not making stuff for elephants, right? After this, we've got an instance of a pitch shifter VST which is called Pitch Proof by Aegean Music. As you can see, it's set to 12 semitones down, which is 1 octave below, and it's set to completely wet, so you won't hear any of the dry signal. After that, I've got an instance of the Red 3 compressor, which is on a preset called Electric Bass. Obvious choice. Finally, we've got another instance of the Red 2 EQ, which is again on a preset called Electric Bass. Of course, it's going through Amplitude. Both the real bass and the pitch shifted bass are going through Amplitude. I believe it's going through a Fender Champ. Yes, it is going through a Fender Champ. Same setting on both the comparisons that you will be hearing. And there we have it, a guitar turned into a bass. Now what I'm gonna do is compare both the real bass and the pitch shifted guitar side by side. For the bass, I'll be using my neck pickup, which are P style, precision style, which means humbuckers. I've made a basic track to play over, and I'll be playing both the real bass and the pitch shifted bass one after another. So here we go! So this is the part of the video which is called the conclusion part. This is gonna be totally unscripted, and I just played the bass and the pitch shifted guitar, and here I am still gathering my thoughts, and I'm gonna belt it all out to this camera. So my initial thoughts would be, and still stands, that the pitch shifted guitar and a bass would almost be indistinguishable. If I were to play the pitch shifted guitar to someone who did not know it was a pitch shifted guitar, they probably would not know either that it's not a real bass. And if you, for any reason, if you can't have a bass in your song, if you don't have a bass available to you, or if you can't afford a bass right now, it's totally cool to just use your guitar pitch shifted an octave down. If you just use a bit of EQing and compression or whatever you feel like, you can make it pass as a real bass. However, on the flip side, the joy of having a real bass is invaluable. I felt much more inspired while playing an actual bass with thicker strings. So if you can afford a bass, or if you can borrow a bass, it would be wiser to get a bass, because just having the real instrument makes you think of ideas that are much more fun than compared with a pitch shifted guitar. So that is my conclusion. What do you guys think? What do you think? Pitch shifted guitar or bass? Have you ever tried a pitch shifted guitar? Have you? Come on, tell me. I'm waiting. Are you typing there, over there? Are you typing? Oh, I think the video is about to end. Okay, bye bye.